I now call the October 21st, 2025 Finance Committee meeting to order at 6:47 PM. Consideration of claims. The chair would entertain a motion for the approval of claims.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we approve claims to be paid in the amount of $761,392.12. Elon credit card in the amount of $7,884.75. Payroll and liabilities for 10/3 of '25 in the amount of $244,753.53 for a total of $1,014,030.40.
Second.
Do we have a second?
Sorry.
Perfect. That's okay. Have a motion by Councilman Bailey and a second by Councilwoman Johnson for consideration claims to be paid in the amount of $761,392.12. Elon credit card in the amount of $7,884.75. Payroll and liabilities for October 3rd, 2025 in the amount of $244,753.53 for a total of $1,014,030.40. Any discussion?
Yeah, and I just wanted to share, there was a charge on there for a chair, a little over $3,000. I did ask about that, and that is covered by a grant, so it is fully reimbursable.
Perfect. That does seem like a spendy chair.
I questioned it when I saw it.
Ding, ding. Any other questions, comments, concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Is there any additional business to come before the committee?
Mr. Chair, I wanted to talk about the chair. It's a 24/7 chair for our dispatch center.
Yeah.
The dispatchers are sitting all day long, so a good, valuable chair is very meaningful for them and their comfort as they're working. So we're thankful to have the grants that are able to help take care of that. That's all I would add.
Very happy indeed. Thank you.
I gather city council is not getting those chairs.
24/7, Your Honor.
I don't want to be here that much.
If we have meetings that are going that long. Without objection, we will adjourn the meeting at 6:50 PM.
I now call the October 21st, 2025 Riverton City Council meeting to order at 7:01 PM. Councilman Larson has agreed to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, after which I will give us the invocation. If everyone could please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we're grateful for the opportunity we have to serve the citizens of this fine city. We ask that it please bless us, that as we meet tonight, that we can have our minds enlightened to the needs of those in our city, that we can ensure that we are able to do the best we can and be able to know what things will help benefit our citizens. We ask that it please bless our first responders, our military, and our police officers, our ambulance crews, and our firefighters. And we ask that it please protect them and guide them, and ask that it please also help all those others who serve the city in multiple capacities, and please bless them to be able to complete their duties well and to be able to have good interactions with our citizens. We're so grateful for the opportunity to serve, and we ask and pray for these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
All right, Ms. Harris, if you could conduct the roll call.
Yes, Your Honor. Councilmember Eric Carr.
Here.
Councilmember Rebecca Pearson-Lewis.
Absent?
Councilmember Mike Bailey.
Here.
Councilmember Carla Borders. Here. Councilmember Kyle Larson.
Here.
Councilmember Karen Johnson.
Here.
And Mayor Tim Hancock.
I'm here. I'd entertain a motion to excuse Councilwoman Pearson-Lewis from tonight's meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Borders, second by Councilman Carr. Any other discussion? She had texted ahead and let us know she had some reactions to a medication she was taking. So hopefully she gets the feeling better.
Yeah.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion passes. I voted aye on that too, by the way. I declare we have a quorum. I'd entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second?
Councilman Larson with the motion, Councilwoman Johnson with the second. Any discussions, additions, corrections? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. I vote aye. Motion passes. Extra Mile Day proclamation. This is something that we have done a proclamation for every year for quite a few years. They said in the email that, I don't know, more than a decade straight, at least, if I remember correctly. But I think it's fun. I think it's a good way to be encouraging people to be aware of the need to do just a little bit more to serve the community. So I'll just read this proclamation and we'll get it signed. Whereas Riverton, Wyoming is a community which acknowledges that a special vibrancy exists within the entire community when its individual citizens collectively go the extra mile in personal effort, volunteerism, and service. And whereas Riverton, Wyoming is a community which encourages its citizens to maximize their personal contribution to the community by giving of themselves wholeheartedly and with total effort, commitment, and conviction to their individual ambitions, family, friends, and community. And whereas Riverton, Wyoming is a community which chooses to shine a light on and celebrate individuals and organizations within its community who go the extra mile in order to make a difference and lift up fellow members of their community. And whereas Riverton, Wyoming acknowledges the mission of Extra Mile America to create 550 extra mile cities in America and is proud to support Extra Mile Day on November 1st, 2025. Now therefore I, Mayor of Riverton, Wyoming, do hereby proclaim November 1st, 2025 to be Extra Mile Day. I urge each individual in the community to take time on this day to not only go the extra mile in his or her life, but to also acknowledge those who are inspirational in their efforts and commitment to make their organizations, families, community, country, or world a better place. So, November 1st. Go do something a little extra. And I don't mean extra like the kids use it nowadays, which is, I think, mischievous. I don't know. I don't know what extra means, but do something a little extra, but not too extra.
Something nice, extra.
Extra nice. We'll just leave it at that. All right. Council committee reports, council members roundtable. I don't know. Who's in the mood to go first? Did we make you go first last time?
No, you had
Councilwoman
Kyle do it
Johnson?
last time.
Oh, yeah, we were just trying to mix it up.
Let Carla go first this time.
I can go first.
All right, Councilwoman Borders, go for it.
So I haven't had any meetings recently, but there were a couple things that I did in the last couple weeks. One was touring the new hospital.
Yeah.
That was awesome. It is going to be a really nice facility with room to expand. And I saw Ernie posted something earlier, it's 50% done now. So all the infrastructure's there, they've got the HVAC in. Eric was there with me.
Yeah.
And Kyle. And, what's the other girl's name?
Becca,
Shannon.
Shannon.
Shanda. Yeah,
Shanda.
that's right. Yeah, she was there.
HR Director.
It was a great experience and really neat to see. And then a friend of mine and I went on the haunted tour on Saturday with
fun.
Alma. That was a lot of fun. I encourage people to do that. There's a lot of good ghost stories in Riverton and a lot of old buildings, and it was pretty cool to see some of the stuff and hear the stories. So that's about, well, actually, I did have another thing that I wanted to go over. Pardon me, just for a second. So there are a couple things coming up. I just have to find it. Sorry, I wasn't better prepared for this.
Well, I did make you go first, and you
You
usually get
did.
a little extra time.
So I do usually, huh? So on Halloween, there's an employee chili cook-off from 11 to 1:30 in the council chambers. I thought that looked like fun. trick-or-treating for the public on Halloween from 2 to 4 here in City Council. And then there's also a costume contest that same day. Deadline to, oh wait. City of Riverton costume, maybe I should read this beforehand. It says the deadline to enter is November 7th. So get pictures in your costume on Halloween and get those turned into the city, and we'll see who the winner is. Maybe it's somebody spooky. That's all I've got.
You gonna enter?
No. I'm wearing my costume now.
All right. Councilman Larson.
Your Honor, I attended the solid waste meeting on Monday, and I have some real fun news for the city of Riverton. The shutdown of Lander will occur by their best estimates as July 1st, 2028. At that time, we'll start hauling garbage by ourselves to Sandral.
And we're excited about this.
We're excited about that. Secondly, everybody is worried about capacity. So for the younger people sitting here, 2060 is when they figure Sandral will reach its capacity. But don't fear, for they have 275 more acres to open up there. So what will happen in that area of July 1st, which is still speculative, I know, but I challenged them on it because but what's really happening is the capacity to dump is filling a hole starts getting difficult to get around to filling it all from all different areas. So Lander has now the same thing that we have, and so the city of Lander will have direct haulage from Lander to Sandral, or the citizens of Lander can go to their station, dump their stuff, get paid, charge for that, and move on and come back home. The proposed dump fees is $140 for Du Bois, $90 for Lander, and about $80 for Riverton. But that's still in flux, so that's not fixed yet.
You can talk trash with the best of them, Kyle.
I know. And there was still more.
Oh, yeah?
We moved about $4 million in savings, which we have about 15 million in different banks and different accounts. And that's a rather large sum, and people are wondering, why would you have that much money available? And it costs about $4 million to put a dump to bed, to put solid waste, cap it, do all the stuff that you're supposed to do. But you have to have that money sitting somewhere just in case they shut them all down. And if you're not, then you're in violation of the environmental protection guidelines on air, water, whatever, navigational bodies of water. And so we have to have that much money setting aside, waiting for the possibility that something could catastrophically happen. Now, in Du Bois, their monitoring wells are the normal depth, but the water level in Du Bois is so low that all they ever do is sample dust in Du Bois for water. Same in Lander. We don't have a problem in Lander, and we don't have a problem in Sandral. So that's where it is.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
One more.
Appreciate it. Oh, hey,
Are you gonna talk about it? Sure. 250? Okay. No, I don't have anything.
all right. We'll expect your report later. Councilwoman Johnson.
So I attended one meeting, which was the work session on the liquor licenses. I also had an opportunity to tour the new hospital, which was pretty, there's not a bad view in the entire place. If you have to be stuck there for a certain amount of time, you're going to have some good views to look at least. And I was excited to hear that they're going to have a maternity ward, and there is room for expansion. Smaller than I thought it was going to be, but very, very nice. So I was excited about that. And short of visiting with constituents on various issues, that's all I have.
Okay, appreciate it.
Your Honor, can I have one more second?
This is your last chance.
Okay. The hospital, I had an occasion to talk to an inside individual on that. And if you're wondering about, is there going to be enough people to staff it? Will they come if you build it? The answer is yes, they will. And they're coming by sufficient numbers that we won't have a problem
Good to hear.
in the medical profession at all.
I know we already have someone from Billings Clinic who's already living here. Actually, when they even started building, they got him over here.
Well, there's
remember his
a
name right now.
lot
He's got the cool mustache and beard.
that want to practice medicine in the outskirts of Wyoming.
That's great.
Yeah, it is.
We're in the middle of Wyoming.
I know it. But we're the outskirts of civilization.
I've heard we're in the frontier is what they call it.
Frontier. Right.
Like it.
Okay. All right, I'm done, Your Honor.
Sounds good.
So not the
Anything to
rear
add?
tier, the frontier.
I just had one more thing, not city related, but I wanted to wish my son a happy birthday. Today is his birthday. He's 28 and he is my baby.
Wow.
Wanted to wish him a happy birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Should we sing to him? Is he going to watch the recording? Or
Probably not. He's in Casper.
well, maybe next time. Make sure he's here and we'll sing.
But if I didn't say it, I would have heard about it. So
Yeah. Well, thank you, Councilwoman Johnson. Councilman Carr?
Thank you, Your Honor. I did also toured the hospital. They did ask that that we pass along. They'll be starting off with primary care, obviously, emergency services, and radiology. However, they won't have an MRI quite yet. We have expansion room for that. It will be coming shortly. The surgical center will be mostly outpatient type procedures for the beginning, but they did want to stress that we won't be able to deliver babies quite yet, but it is definitely in the plan. So please be cognizant that it's going to take a while to get ramped up to full capacity, so.
You're saying like they're not going to have a ribbon cutting and then deliver the next baby the next day?
Correct, unless it's an extreme emergency.
Curb your expectations.
Curb expectations.
Got it.
Well, have realistic expectations, yes. for
Okay.
sure. Yeah, that was a great tour. Thank you, Court McGovey, for providing that tour. They're doing a fantastic job. It looks great, so.
Good.
We will have a planning commission meeting this Thursday, the 23rd, at 6 PM here in council chambers. We're going to go over child care permit, a variance, and a replat, potentially. So come down and get excited about planning commission. It's a good way to get into the community. And then just a reminder, Halloween is coming up. We won't have a meeting before that's over, so please slow down and watch for kids and the adults, because they'll be all over. So please slow down. Slow down anyway. That's all I have. Thank you, Your Honor.
Councilman Bailey?
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, I did attend the 250th Planning Committee meeting. And so we're starting to work on all of that, and she'll go into more detail. And I've been gone for most of the last 2 weeks that since we've met last. I apologize, I missed last week's liquor discussion. Hopefully you guys got it all figured out.
It was a nice discussion.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. I think, when we get together for work sessions, even when we all disagree, not that we all disagree, but it went well.
Good, good. So I had 2 different trips I went on. Again, flew out of Riverton Airport, went very good. I had a little trouble on the trip in between the 2 trips that I missed because the flight was over full, and so they kicked some people off, and I ended up, took long enough that missed my connection, so I didn't go, so, whatever. When enough things happen, you just call that karma and take the hint, so. But every time I travel, again, the last trip we went to Chicago, and you think we have problems. So sometimes you just got to look at the other side, and I'm sure their budget's a little bit bigger than ours, but they are not spending it on streets and cleanliness and some of that. So I don't know what they spend it on, but Riverton's a very nice place to live, and it's very clean, and the people are very nice, and you can eat out a lot cheaper here than you can. And so I think sometimes we have to be reminded of all the good things that we have here, so.
Good.
I was gone during last Saturday. I was not there for the march, though.
You missed the march,
I missed the march, so.
which I know Becca went. I wanted to go. I didn't get a chance to go.
I got to see all the streets blocked off, which I'm sure that's just a logistical nightmare there.
Can you imagine?
I'm always impressed with the police department. They
Yeah,
do a
those
heck
are
of a job.
challenging situations, so.
And Public Works. I don't want to say it's just police,
Yeah.
it's both that actually get her done.
Yeah, the amount of manpower it must take to do that. Even here, you look when we block the street off for, the fair parade or the whatever we're doing, the fall festival or whatever. It takes a lot of man hours before and after and during to take care of that, so I appreciate what that takes, so. That's all I have.
Good deal.
Airport board this coming Friday here at
At?
8 o'clock, I think.
Just always asking the
Yeah.
time because people might want to attend if they're here or listening. All right, well, thank you, Councilman Bailey. Mr. Butterfield,
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a few things. Planning Commission this Thursday at 5:30, and we do want to make note that a variance is being proposed, and so just underline that it is open to the public, and variances are important for the Planning Commission to consider, and obviously then you as a council will have opportunity to learn about the action that's taken. So 5:30, and we invite the public to attend. Want to provide an update on our police department staffing. We do have one applicant who has passed the background portion of the application process, and they're now working through the psychological examination that is required by statute before we're able to make an offer. So we're happy that we have one applicant moving through the process very well. And then we have 4 other applicants that are in the queue to start the screening process, and we do have a physical test scheduled later this month for those 4 applicants. I want to say thank you to our Administrative Services Director, Ms. Mia Harris, for her work in coordinating committee for the Halloween activities that Councilwoman Borders has already mentioned. We appreciate that she took that on, and we have other employees that are helping with that. There have been several legislative committee meetings since our last meeting, and as always, we stay on top of that to the best of our ability to ensure that the city's needs are being represented, and also that we're staying up to date and in tune with how the legislature will potentially be acting at the upcoming session. Yesterday, Ms. Harris and I were able to attend a public records committee meeting that was formed by corporations. This has to do with some changes in the public record request law, specifically in shortening the time frame for entities to respond to public records requests, and then some changes to fees And so we were able to listen and also provide comment about how the proposed changes could impact us. And that committee is run by the State of Wyoming Ombudsman. The mayor and I were also able to attend remotely the gaming committee meeting, and mayor provided testimony about how a few bills will impact the city of Riverton as it relates to parimutuel betting or simulcasting. The thing to take away from that is we are working with other municipalities and the Wyoming County Commission Association to ensure that municipalities have appropriate involvement in permitting and approving requests by businesses to locate within the corporate limits of a municipality. The mayor also provided testimony about the appropriate location of some of these machines, specifically as to whether or not it's appropriate that they be located in things like a grocery store or anything of that matter. We will continue to monitor the activities of the interim session, which is closing up within a month, and then we'll get ready for the actual legislative session, which will be a budget session this year. Mr. Toman and his team are happy to welcome professionals that are performing our leak detection survey. As we previously communicated, the analysis performed through really cool technology as it relates to the satellite survey will now be verified on the ground. We'll have staff that will acoustically pinpoint areas that were identified by the previous survey. And that will help us ensure that we address any issues of water loss in our distribution system. We also reported, but I want to confirm, we are renting a street sweeper for 2 weeks and hope to ensure that we're catching a lot of these fall leaves and then other grit that's sitting in the gutters. And hopefully this will be the last time we have to rent a piece of equipment, because the street sweeper that you awarded recently should be delivered this spring. Would like to highlight and congratulate one of our employees, our Deputy Treasurer, Riwa Goddern, for receiving her Certified Public Funds Investment Management Certification, CPFIM. And I hope I got the acronym correct. I did. Anyway, this is something that requires a certain level of experience and skill, and we are proud that we have employees that continue to hone their skills and improve their set of professional qualifications to better serve the residents of the city of Riverton. And I just want to highlight our Deputy Treasurer for taking that step and doing that. Your Honor, with that, I'll stand for any questions and appreciate all the good work that's going on in our community.
Thank you. All right, I don't have as many as last time long time. Yeah, see, Councilwoman Johnson, I took a while. This will be faster. I'm trying to remember, when did we have the naming ceremony for the hospital? Was that, since the last meeting? I don't remember. You guys didn't attend. I was the only one there.
September, maybe?
It was fun. River Peak Hospital, that's what it's going to be called. I did not, now mind you, I did go to that. I did not go to the tour. So, I mean, everybody here saying they went to the tour. I wish I could have, but I had a coworker who called in sick, and
It's with me. I was planning on, but I got tied up, so.
yeah. So I had it on my calendar, and it just didn't work out that day because I had to do court. I did have an opportunity to go to a meeting about the Red Cross. That was a good opportunity. I enjoyed it. We had some representatives from the Red Cross that came in and talked a little bit about what they do and what they do locally. One of the things that they had said, first off, is the Red Cross kind of divides the country up into 2 state groups, regions, so to speak. So we're grouped with Colorado, which is too bad, but it's life, what are you going to do? Get lumped in with Colorado. They're the other square state, right? Rectangular, I suppose. Anyway, so we're grouped with Colorado. They talked a little bit about what operations are for the Red Cross. One of the things is they have 2 positions really for volunteers here. Well, there's a lot more than 2 positions, I guess. So first off, let me say there is a need to volunteer with the Red Cross even in our community. Usually what they tend to assist with here is house fires, or fires that put residents in danger if they're wildfires up towards Du Bois, that kind of thing, or even locally. We just had that fire that just jumped the river and put residents in danger, residences in danger here in town. So I guess my point is, really all you do is you get online and you say, I'm willing to volunteer, and then give them permission to do a background check, which I was nervous about that, but I figured if the Wyoming State Bar would let me be a lawyer, maybe I could pass the background check for these guys, I don't know. But anyway, so went through and had to do permission for a background check, and I am officially a volunteer with Red Cross. I just haven't done all the training, and so I can't do anything except just be a volunteer who's untrained. But I will do the training. It's just a matter of time. So I had invited them to come and actually present to the city council, and I don't remember if it was going to be the end of November or the beginning of December, but they were going to come and do that. So just be aware, come and give like a 15-minute presentation about what they do locally, how you can volunteer locally, and so it's a good opportunity to go to that. Yes, it also got to testify for the gaming committee, for the select gaming committee that was just talking about different options or things that could be done in regard to gaming. I guess to be clear, none of my testimony was meant to be saying that people shouldn't be able to have gaming available in Fremont County. That already happens. We have it like at the Derby Club. We have it different places. The point was more so to say, number one, if there's going to be gaming, having it be something that local folks can come out and have feedback about it. Much the same as if there were a proposed liquor license transfer to a location and people were like, hey, this isn't the best location for this, or there's concerns about the person that's transferring it, they come out and can speak about it. One of the things that concerned me was gaming, if it's going to be allowed in a grocery store, for example, which because some of our grocery stores have liquor license permits, and because the way the liquor license holders work, it's the whole building that kind of has rather than a dispensing area, it's the whole building that kind of has the permit. So the idea, when they had done gaming, they said, well, we'll allow it to be places where someone has a liquor license. All well and good. But with that change at the state law, where the whole building is what is licensed now, it makes it so that grocery stores could have gaming devices. I'm not saying that's a terrible idea, but I am saying if we're going to do that, I think being able to have local control and feedback is important. So that was the purpose of my testimony there.
So they don't have to put it in the age-verified area.
Right.
They could put it next to the lollipops if they wanted to, being
Correct.
cynical. But
Well, yeah, and that's exactly it, because the idea behind it was we're going to have this in age-verified areas,
right.
and it's not.
I had along those lines, I had an interesting conversation with somebody that had questioned, they were talking about the minors in establishments, the work session that we just had, and they said, how does that work with the gaming sense? Because they can't have gaming in there if they're going to allow minors in after that. So they can only have one or the other. So it's going to affect either way, which was interesting.
It's an interesting point, and I think ties into what we were talking about, that we need to look at that and figure out what we want to do there. So, anyway, just wanted, I guess, to let you guys know about that, if you had read the article about it that County 10 did. Not that I'm saying County 10 did a poor job of it, but just some of the comments I wanted to address and clarify. I was able to go to the homecoming game in Lander, or not the homecoming game, I went to the homecoming game too, that was a ton of fun. No, I was able to go to the Riverton versus Lander game and watch Riverton beat Lander. That was a great time. So, got to actually sit with Mayor White. We sat in the Lander section for the first half, and then when it started looking like I needed to move to the Riverton section, I moved. So, anyway. I also had the opportunity to attend the WHAM board meeting. That was over in Pinedale. You may be familiar and know that I'm a representative for Region 4 for WHAM. Very good opportunity to get an idea of what's going on with WHAM, where things are going. And we have a really good staff for WHAM right now. And I would encourage you all to come to our meeting when you actually have a chance to rub shoulders a little bit with legislators, that sort of thing. Definitely encourage you to sign up for it. Really good opportunity for training, good opportunity to kind of hear what some of the other communities are doing, that sort of thing. We also have Mr. Butterfield, who's going to be going to the National League of Cities meeting that's going to be in Salt Lake. So good opportunities there. Also had the opportunity, along with Mr. Butterfield and the chief, to go to a meeting talking about Gardens North, which was a lot of fun. Have some ideas for things we can do to assist with that, not very much. One of the things that was discussed was, is this something that the city would be excited about annexing? And I said, probably not, but I can't speak for the council. If there were going to be a proposal for that to be annexed, it goes one of two ways. Either city comes in kind of a little overbearing and says, we're going to annex you, which doesn't tend to be the way we do things. Or a percentage of the property owners could reach out and say, we want to be annexed. I guess my point was, of course, if a percentage of the property owners wanted to be annexed, we'd deal with it. We'd decide that as a council, because I couldn't speak for the council. But I didn't see much likelihood that we'd just go in and say, you're now a part of the city. And just, there's a lot of complications with that method, so. Anyway, good discussion, good opportunities. Hopeful that we can try to solve some issues that come up there. I mean, it's not in city limits, but it does affect us a lot. And being able to work together and have a good partnership with the sheriff's office is important. And I will say one of the things we did kind of discuss is that as it stands, I don't think there's any nuisance regulation or zoning or that kind of thing that the county has. And the way they can decide to declare something a nuisance, as far as I understand it, is just a resolution. So, of course, in speaking about that, we had two members of the county commissioners there. We had Commissioner McCarty and we had Commissioner Fabricius. Really appreciated them attending. And they said they were going to kind of get their planning commission, hopefully, on some ideas of what nuisance regulation in the county could look like. Of course, that's hard to do, and you'd want to have people be able to give feedback, because if somebody has property that's like 20 acres or something, saying you have to cut your weeds is a little bit different than saying it in the city of Riverton. And so that is, it does create some complications, but one of the things we did discuss is, you know, you could have regulations that'll be different for nuisance depending on the lot size. If you've got a smaller lot size, of course, there's a different idea of health and safety concerns if it's a smaller lot size versus a larger one. So anyway, that's it. I didn't do a half an hour, but I did do 10 minutes. Better than 20. I think I was 20. So communications from the floor, citizens' comments, anyone in the audience wishing to address the council regarding an item that's scheduled for a public hearing, you'll for sure be given an opportunity during that public hearing to speak. However, if you want to speak about something that is an agenda item that does not have a public hearing attached to it, we also allow you to speak during those. Just make sure to get my attention, and I would let you come up to the podium, give us your name, give us any organization you're with. If you want to speak about something that's not currently set for an agenda item, you're definitely welcome to come up now as well. And in either event, I'd ask you to keep your comments to 5 minutes for individuals, 10 minutes for a member of a group, and kind of divide it up between the members of your group. In terms of parliamentary procedure, address all comments and questions to the chair. keep comments directed to the issue under consideration. So if you come up and speak during an agenda item, I'd ask you to keep your comments to that agenda item, and would ask you to refrain from making comments of a personal character that reflect on the character or conduct of another person, personal criticism, name-calling, ridicule, that kind of thing, fighting words, obscene language. So, if you'd like to come up and speak, please feel free to come up now and tell us your name. We've been waiting for you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Sorry I missed a couple weeks ago, but I thought I'd save it all for tonight.
Oh, good.
It seems that the second Tuesday of the month seems a little less jam-packed, so that's been my notice. But a couple things going on. Tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., the Wyoming Business Alliance has coordinated a what they're calling a listening tour for businesses. So we'll be at that from 7 to 9 up at the college at the Intertribal Center. Should be a good opportunity for businesses to come and talk to the Wyoming Business Alliance about, a multitude of different things. There's also going to be one, I can't think of his name. He's going to give a report on the Fremont County economic forecast, and so that'll be interesting. And then I'm giving flyers handed around for our next after hours, which is a week from this Thursday, so it's on the 30th. And this is an annual one that we do at Teton Therapy. They like to do it every year during Physical Therapy Month. So this was a big one last year. I anticipate it to be a fun one and big one this year too on the Thursday the 30th. So we're hoping you can attend. I'll send you a reminder. Starting tomorrow, the Wyoming Hospitality and Tourism Coalition is here in Riverton at the Holiday Inn. They've got their fall conference. So we've got, let's see here, we're delivering 150 event bags. So probably 150 attendees, and I will obviously be attending that because of our visitor center. So should be some good information. I attended the youth council meeting last week, and so we got to talk about a lot of good things, because some of their ideas the chamber has already kind of started to do, like the welcome bags. We've got a welcome bag that we are going to start doing, and what we're going to do is we've got postcards that we're going to bring to the city and High Plains Power, realtors, and the title companies. So when people come in, sign up for their utilities at either place or buy their house, we've got a nice colorful poster or postcard that says come to the visitor center and get your welcome bag. And we're trying to get businesses to put, bring us stuff to put in there, to advertise their business. It's free advertising. Give them information on Riverton. And I think the youth council wanted to put in there, information about city council, their elected officials, and some different things. So we're going to coordinate that. Another thing is the events calendar. That's something we have started doing. So we're going to coordinate that, see, where we can combine our efforts instead of, doing two different things. When we've got something going there. Another one, we didn't get too far into this, but I am starting to work, and I had mentioned this before, a visitor guide business directory. I am starting to work with one of the media outlets here. Apparently they had started working on that the last couple years. We are meeting about every 10 days, so we are going to have something by May of next year. A very nice visitor guide for Riverton, and a little bit expanding on Fremont County as well. So I'm so excited about that. It's going to be fabulous. We had a meeting for our 250 quincentennial planning. We were trying to get coordinated kind of the idea what we want to do, what day we want to do it. So we are meeting in 2 weeks, I believe, from today. So we'll have some other decisions to make and keep this rolling along so that we're ready. I think you'd be surprised at what we come up with. I'm excited about that as well. So One last thing I did want to say. I'm in leadership Fremont County this year, and last Friday, I was trying to meet a couple other people so we could carpool to Lander because our day was in Lander, and it was raining and wind blowing, and I was sitting in my car, and I thought, well, I'll get out and because I didn't see anybody, I'll get out and walk up to the front of the outside the building because that's what we've done in the past. And as I'm getting out of my car and walking up, I must have had a weird look on my face because I believe it was a city employee, but I don't know who she was because, I mean, I've not seen her, at a council meeting for recognition or anything. She was bringing some couple of coffees in, and she said, "Are you okay? Do you need help?" I said, "No, I'm good. I'm just looking for the rest of my group." And she said, "Okay." I said, "I'm with the leadership Fremont County. We meet here and we try to carpool." And so I kind of followed her in. She's like, "Are you sure? Do you want to come in?" I'm like, "No." And she said, "You're sure you don't need help or anything?" I said, "Yeah, I'm good." I must have had a weird look. But, I really appreciated it, is what my point is. She was a city employee. I'm not sure who she was. Brown hair, glasses, average height, weight. But, yeah, it was refreshing and nice that someone was paying attention, even though I don't think I looked stressed. Maybe I was because I couldn't find anyone. I don't know. But it was nice. I want to commend this person because she really did go above and beyond, making sure this strange lady in the parking lot at 7:45 looking for something was okay. So that's all I've got. Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions?
I don't have questions, but I have not forgotten about you.
Okay.
I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Okay. If I don't hear from you and the mayor by Friday, I'll be on you. You're both in the
Are you
doghouse.
on the list too? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I will do it first thing tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And get it sent. I am so sorry.
All right. No worries. That's why I start early.
And
Pushing.
congratulations on your year
Thank you.
with the chamber.
Thank you. It's been very fast. I can't believe it's been a year. It feels like 6 months. So I think that's a good sign. So more to come. Stay tuned.
I know how you feel. I thought that I'd only been mayor for 6 months.
Whatever.
And almost 3.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks, Cindy. Go ahead, come on up.
Mr. Mayor, council people, I wasn't going to say anything today. I just wanted to feel you out. But I actually live down there on East Forest Drive between Councilwoman Johnson and Mr. Larson there. I've got a little garbage can now. I don't make a lot of money. Honestly, one a month pickup would be probably too much for me, and I'm asking that you would consider letting some of those old people opt out of garbage. I mean, it'd be a savings of $300+ a year, and I know that doesn't sound like much to you, but it's quite a bit to me. So that's the only request I have. Thank you.
So would you want to opt out completely, or?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't live very far away from the box station or whatever, and I've got containers that when I got filled for the $5 they charged me, maybe once every 6 weeks I could stop in there. I mean, that's all. I mean, I don't have a lot of money, period. So I'm trying to save, and unfortunately, okay, a little history on me. I got moved out of Thermopolis. I'm a railroader over 40 years. I was at Thermop in the 80s, and BN at the time said, "Oh, we need you in management," and okay, end of story there. Well, it's taken me quite a while, and there's quite some changes I moved from Fort Peck, Montana, down here to come back home again. And it's not been a good deal for me. I mean, maybe the worst financial situation I've ever put myself in, and that's all. I in reality, will probably leave, and I love where I live, I really do. But economics are kind of against me, so that's all.
Appreciate you coming in. We can definitely talk about different options and whether that's feasible or not. I mean, it's hard, right? Because how would we have our trash pickup folks be able to identify which ones to pick up with, not to pick up with?
I don't have a can out, you're not gonna pick me up.
Exactly, so, but, okay. Well, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
Honor, just, could we get the name for the record?
Oh, yes, please.
Brian Olson,
Brian Olson,
yeah,
O-L-S-O-N,
O-N, yeah.
and Brian with an I?
Yes, B-R-I-N-O-L-S-O-N, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No, I would just want to make sure you saw Kyle.
Anyone else? All right. Well, consent agenda. Administrative Services Director, could you please read the consent agenda items by title only?
Yes, Your Honor. Minutes of the October 7th, 2025 regular council meeting, minutes of the October 14th, 2025 council work session, minutes of the October 21st, 2025 Finance Committee meeting, and Finance Committee recommendations for October 21st, 2025.
And Councilman Carr, item requiring further discussion from the Finance Committee.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Finance Committee met at 6:47 this evening and recommend consideration of claims to be paid in the amount of $761,392.12. Elon credit card in the amount of $7,884.75.
Mr. Tolman.
Payroll and liabilities for October 3rd, 2025 in the amount of $244,753.53 for a total of $1,014,030.40.
Sorry. Left my briefcase over there and felt bad that people had to dodge past it. I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as been presented.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilwoman Borders, motion by Councilman Larson, second by Councilwoman Borders. Any discussion?
Your Honor, I will abstain from any Bailey Enterprises items on the Finance Committee report.
Okay, any other discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. I vote aye, motion passes. Fremont County School District 25 Recreation Board appointment. City Administrator's report.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll be brief. You have opportunity as mayor to appoint a member of the council to the Fremont County School District 25 Rec Board. And it's proposed that Councilwoman Carla Borders serve in that role. And it's now opportunity for the council to confirm that appointment.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I'd entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Councilwoman Borders to the Fremont County School District 25 Rec Board.
So moved. Second.
Councilman Larson with the motion, Councilman Bailey with the second. Any discussion? Okay, you haven't said no, so,
I'm not going to say no. I'm honored to serve, Your Honor.
okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. I vote aye, motion passes. Technically, I guess if it's my appointment, I don't know if I can vote on it, so. You're shaking your head as in I'm correct, or you're shaking your head as in I'm? I didn't vote aye. See, I knew I was right. I'm glad you're here.
But what if we voted 3-3? Then what would happen?
You know, I think I'd have to come up with somebody different. Because our ordinance is pretty clear. When it comes to appointments, I can't vote, I don't even think to break a tie.
Yeah, you,
Yeah, so 3-3,
yeah. Doubt if that'll ever happen.
find somebody new.
That's right.
All right, Southwest lease agreement. We had at our October 7th, 2025 regular council meeting, Councilman Carr moved, seconded by Councilman Larson, to approve a permit to grant space to the Southwest Airlines Company to house radio equipment for flight tracking at the airport fire station building. We had some discussion. Councilwoman Johnson, seconded by Councilwoman Pearson Lewis, had moved to table the Southwest lease agreement until the next regular council meeting. So that has been tabled. If we wanted to remove that from the table and discuss it at this meeting, we would have to have a motion to remove from the table the Southwest lease agreement. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor, I'll move to remove it from being tabled.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilwoman Johnson, second by Councilwoman Borders. Any discussion about removing that from the table? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. I vote aye. Motion passes. I think we had asked for a little bit of follow-up, Mr. Toman, and thank you so very much for being patient with all of that. I know sometimes we're up here asking you questions that we probably could have asked earlier, and next time we'll try to do better at asking earlier, but do you have anything to add for some of the questions from our last meeting?
I do, Your Honor. Thank you. Appreciate it. Staff relooked at the agreement that the council questioned at the last meeting, and then compared it to other agreements for the airport as well. There are agreements out there that do charge $40 for internet to other tenants that are in the airport terminal. We did apply that to this actual agreement and then added in not a $25 a month lease, but an $18 a month lease, which is currently what the Casper International Airport or the Central Wyoming International Airport charges their tenant, Southwest Airlines, for this type of equipment. Again, this is in route flight tracking equipment. It's a radio plus an antenna. It also does hook up to the internet, as I found out and verified. So electricity plus internet plus space in this area. Staff recommends at a $58 a month fee. We did reach out. I did at that point reach out to the representative of Southwest, Jason Chu, is the area. Let me get his info. He's a regional representative for Southwest. He said that was more than fair. I just got off the phone with him earlier today. So that's what I was able to find out on this agreement, and recommend that Chu take a look at the updated agreement and see if you have any questions. So.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or council discussion? Thank you so much for looking into that on both counts, the internet and also in terms of looking in what was going on at the Natrona County International Airport, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Your Honor, I would move that we approve the amended agreement.
So moved.
I'll second.
Mr. Butterfield?
Your Honor, you have a motion that was tabled, taken off the table, so I think
So it's already on the table, or it's,
You
you
already
don't
have
need
a
another motion? Okay,
That's what I was thinking.
okay.
So I think we've already
I'll
got a
withdraw
motion.
that then.
You're going to withdraw your second?
I will.
So, and I think that makes sense too, because we had a motion, but then what's presented to the council tonight is with the modifications as discussed from Mr. Toman. And so that would be what the vote would be on tonight.
So,
is the-
so would we need to amend the motion then to the new amounts?
I would say so, yeah.
I guess, well, the agreement, so the agreement as it had been presented to us previously, we're not wanting to go with that. The agreement that's before us in the packet right now has some different amounts. Yeah, I would think we would need a motion to amend, wouldn't we then, Mr. Butterfield?
Your Honor, and clarity is always helpful. So if that's what you'd like to do, you're definitely able to. But the motion that was moved and seconded last meeting was just to approve approve a permit to grant space to Southwest Airlines. So it did not reference a specific amount. But if you want clarification in the record, I think it's okay for you to do an amendment at this time, unless.
I would clarify that I would move to amend the motion to include the new fee structure, which is $18 a month plus $40 for internet, for a total of $58
A month.
per month.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion to amend the agreement to include that amount, well, just to include the updated amount. That's easy enough. Motion by Councilman Bailey, second by Councilman Carr. Any other discussion on the amendment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. I vote aye, motion passes. So we're now on the amended motion, which would be to approve the agreement between Southwest Airlines, to house radio equipment for flight tracking at the Central Wyoming Regional Airport, and for the amounts noted with the agreement as noted in the packet. Any other discussion?
Your Honor, just real quick, 3A of the agreement still denotes $18 for a 200-year, or a $200 annual payment. That will be for $58.
Well, and I think that's because it's 18 for the agreement for the right to use the space, and then the internet one is 40. So if you look at,
Oh, yep.
then-
I'm sorry, yep.
Two pieces.
Yes, you're right. I did not read far enough.
okay. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. I vote aye, motion passes. Thank you so much. Great job with that, as always, Mr. Tolman.
Thank you, appreciate it. Appreciate the chance to follow up.
All right, maintenance service agreement. Nice, is that nice radio logger, or is it Nisei, or
Nice.
nice? Nice radio logger. Police chief report, please.
Thank you, Your Honor and Counsel. In 2016, city purchased the Motorola Nice radio and phone logger hardware and software for $177,128. The system logs radio traffic and phone calls entering the communications center as required by Wyoming State statute. A radio logger maintenance service agreement, including a 24/7 tech support and future upgrades, were not purchased at that time. In 2024, Motorola Nice radio and the phone logger systems were upgraded. The state, Wyoming, covered the cost of the radio logger upgrade, and we paid $52,206 for the phone side logger upgrade. A maintenance service agreement was not purchased at this time for either the radio nor the phone logger. Following this upgrade in 2024, Motorola provided the city with a quote for a maintenance service agreement for the Nice radio logger. This agreement ensures that the police department's inclusion in the state Y-Link system service upgrade agreement, SUA, that was Y-Link had with Motorola. This SUA ensures that the Nice radio logger is upgraded in operational alignment with each Y-Link radio system upgrade. At first, we declined the agreement because we're unaware of the SUA that was being discussed, but later learned that the existence of the SUA and Y-Link planned a 2026 radio upgrade under it. Additionally, Motorola Nice requested the police department be removed from the SUA due to the initial declination of that payment. Failure to enter a radio logger maintenance agreement with Motorola would result in the Nice radio logger system ceasing to record radio traffic once Y-Link completes its 2026 upgrade. If the police department would not, or police department would then be responsible for the cost of any future Nice radio logger upgrades. And if we did it on our own, it would cost $65,000 or up to $65,355.56 in 2026. Motorola Nice agreed to keep the radio or the police department on the Y-Link system SUA. That the police department purchased a Nice radio log maintenance service agreement covering the period from October 1st, 2025 to September 30th, 2026. This 2025 agreement will cost $10,281.25, and the year two, or the 2026 agreement, will cost $11,700. The total proposed cost to execute the maintenance service agreement is $21,981.25. This was not on our radar. These funds were not included in the fiscal year 26 budget that council adopted. In order to move forward with the purchase, the police department would need to reprioritize funds associated with line item in its cost center as adopted by the city council. To that end, the salaries and wages line item is currently running under its budget amount, and staff recommends the projected fund surplus in this budget line item to be utilized to cover the cost of the radio logger maintenance service agreement with Motorola NICE for 2025 and 2026. In doing so, it should not exceed the total budget adopted for the cost center of the police department for this current fiscal year. Future yearly allocations for renewing the radio logger maintenance service agreement will need to be incorporated into subsequent budget cycles beginning in fiscal year 27. This radio logger maintenance support agreement incurs an annual cost plus a 5% increase added to the previous year's payment to account for inflation and other economic fluctuations. The quota price for the renewal of the 2027 voice logger maintenance service agreement is $12,284.30. If council approves to, or city council disapproves to propose acceptance of the maintenance service agreement, the $65,355.56 for the next radio logger upgrade will need to be considered for fiscal year 2027. I'd like to acknowledge Lieutenant Marson for doing a lot of legwork and doing some investigation on what others PSAPs are doing in connection with the Y-Link. And staff recommends the approval of the maintenance agreement for the NICE radio logger system in the amount of $21,981.25. That, Your Honor, would stand for any questions.
Thank you. I'd entertain a motion to approve the maintenance service agreement for the not-so-nice radio logger in the amount of $21,981.25.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Borders, second by, we'll say Councilman Carr this time. You got you beat.
Yeah.
Any discussion?
I do have a question, Your Honor. If I can ask the chief. Chief, how is that going, if it's coming out of the salary line item? How is that going to affect, because it says currently under budget, how is that going to affect going forward, hiring and being fully staffed again?
Right.
I mean, I know we're close, but does that mean we're just not going to hire one position to make this happen, or?
Your Honor, so we currently are under budget because we still have the vacancies, so we have that money basically sitting there. So we'd use that funding to cover this cost that we weren't expecting.
So it would take away from a position?
Just, we didn't incur any of those expenses because of the vacancies. So we're under budget on the current salaries and benefits.
In other words, we have salary that would have been paid for however many positions that have been vacant from July until today.
Correct.
And because of that funding that's available there, we can still hire somebody for the rest of the year, or somebodies, people that are willing to come in and work. But this is for July to October, pretty much.
Right. And it would, like I mentioned, it'd be, we'd still be on the mark for this fiscal year budget. It just, we could have had some money left over, but this came up and
Leftover
we either pay
money.
a
You're
little
funny.
bit now and get into the pool, or we pay a lot later.
Got it, thank you.
The expression "having someone over a barrel" comes to mind because, I mean, we had,
Love those service agreements.
we upgrade, right? And at the time, we think everything's done, we're fine. And then like, well, in 2026, we're going to do another upgrade. And if you're not on the service agreement, we're not going to have you be as a part of the upgrade. It's frustrating, especially because it feels like it's an after the fact kind of, oh, and you have to do this now. But I appreciate you actually looking at this as an option and saying, this is how we can do it, this is where the money could come from. If we don't do it, here's the consequences. That's what we need to know here. So thank you for getting us all the information, Chief.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. I vote aye, motion passes. Peer-to-peer vehicle sharing concession agreement, TURO, Inc. Public Works Director's report, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Tonight, what you have in front of you is a lease agreement with TURO, Inc. It's a national peer-to-peer rental car company. And so this lease agreement would be for sharing a rental car pickup that would be picked up or dropped off at the Central Wyoming Regional Airport. And just a little background on TURO. The rental service agreement allows a pre-screened car owner referred to as a host to offer their cars and trucks for rent through the public through TURO booking network. So just to give a little bit of a background, it's kind of Uber meets enterprise rental car, basically. They offer the cars for rent to the public through the TURO booking network, was an app-based network. TURO began, and then a little background on TURO itself. They began operations in 2011. It's the largest peer-to-peer rental car company. There are cars already for rent in Fremont County and then throughout Wyoming, about 100 in Wyoming right now. TURO operates in all 50 states, plus Canada, the United Kingdom, France, and Australia. TURO offers their customers additional options for renting cars that may not be available through traditional car rental agencies. In many locations, hosts offer, you look throughout Wyoming, there's Mercedes, there's some Land Cruisers, there's a few other, I didn't see many convertibles, maybe because of the snow in there, but hosts who wish, so anybody can put their vehicle up on this site, and then you become a host, you become an entrepreneurial. If you want to offer your vehicle, you have to register with the company. The company sets guidelines for reliability, maintenance, and cleanliness of the vehicle. They also have a trust and safety screening that they put all their hosts through, and a background check as well. The booking website allows customers the option to set the duration of the rental, the pickup location, which could be, I guess then it directs the communication with the host. The customer, when they book the vehicle, they could either pick up at the airport. If somebody's traveling to the airport, the host can drop the vehicle off at the person's home. They can pick up the vehicle that way. There's a lot of ways to negotiate where they can pick up the vehicle. The customer's charged the fee, and it's and then if it is picked up or dropped off at the airport, there's a right to use the airport premises for pickup and delivery. And then currently, Central Wyoming Regional Airport rental car vendors are charged a 10% fee for use of the premises. This is a pass-through fee that is charged to rental car customers in addition to their rental agreement with the company. TURO's procedure is to collect this fee at the time of booking and remits it to the airport automatically. So Bruce Ransom, our airport manager, has worked with TURO, and he put together an agreement. This is one that has been used up in Cody as well to operate the rental car company at the airport. The company is operated on a car sharing app-based platform, and then the airport would provide space for someone to pick up or drop off their car. If you look through the agreement, there's a few items in there. The cars can't be stored at the airport for more than 2 weeks. TURO cars, and then the vehicle owners do enter into an agreement with TURO, and then the person can all pick it up and rent it through the app. I did put in your packet one thing wasn't correct in there, that it was that the companies asked for a few spaces at the airport that were marked. They don't ask for that. All they ask for is a spot to park the vehicle to where a person may be able to pick it up. Then they asked what the city would agree to at this point then is to list TURO on the webpage as well, on the site underneath other booking companies, the TURO logo, where a person could go to the TURO site to rent their car. So if the city does enter into this agreement, TURO would deposit into a city account 10% of the gross revenue, which comes from the operator for this area, and then this is remitted to the city at the end of each month, and then no billing would need to take place. If there's any questions about this, I can answer those at this time, and appreciate you looking at this.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to approve a lease to allow TURO, National Peer-to-Peer Vehicle Sharing Rental Car Company, to offer rental car pickup and drop-off at the Central Wyoming Regional Airport.
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Bailey with the motion, Councilwoman Borders with the second. Next time you can.
No worries.
Discussion.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I did take some time to look into this and get some feedback. And I learned a couple of different things. First of all, Turo's not a Better Business Bureau accredited company. They have some really negative reviews. One-star review through the Better Business Bureau, 2,466 complaints over the last 3 years, with only 1,027 of those being closed, and only 176 of those complaints were resolved. Most of the issues were customer service issues, billing issues, sales or advertising issues, customer service, order issues, delivery issues. It works a lot like an Airbnb where the host interacts with the person that is picking up the vehicle. And a lot of times, a lot of the complaints that I had read about the company itself is that people were being charged extra because hosts were not responding in a timely manner to people where they're supposed to return the vehicle. The other issues with Turo is that it's only one way. You can't take a vehicle from here and drop it off somewhere else. It has to be returned back to the airport. In additional, we don't charge any parking fees up at the airport. So if they're taking up a space for 2 weeks, I think that that's something else we probably need to visit about or come to a solution on. But just in the last week, I just pulled complaints from the last week, and I really didn't get the sense that this is a reputable company. For instance, as it relates to the vehicles that are being used, third-party inspections, Turo doesn't mandate or centralize a universal inspection system, but encourages hosts to use third-party digital inspections. So they are sending photos of their car to get it assigned or usable to the website. The initial inspection, it does have to have an initial inspection through a certified auto dealer or mechanic. Thank you. I thought you were going to chime in on that one. They do have to have the initial, but everything after that is third-party AI photos being sent. There was also issues with insurance. And the problem that I have with this company is if they're asking to be listed on our webpage, it represents our airport, or our airport represents them and the business that's being conducted there. And I don't feel that they're a reputable company with good reviews that would reflect positive for the city of Riverton.
Okay, any other comments?
Your Honor.
Mr. Bailey?
Couple of things, both positive and negative. I guess right now they're renting cars now and we're not getting anything. And there's probably no way we could stop it because they're just private cars, so you wouldn't know if that person got in on the airplane and flew out or if they left their car there for Turo. So I think we need to get our appropriate fee. And again, disclosure is I do own Priceless Car Rental, which is the rental car agency that is up there. And we have to pay 10% on all the rentals that go through the airport to the regional airport, which I think is fair. So I guess I want to make sure we're getting our fee for doing that and not letting them fly by night under the radar kind of thing. So to me, one of the issues that goes along with what you're saying is really we're not dealing with a person here in Riverton. We're dealing with a big company that, you know, it's like dealing with Google. And so, yeah, I don't know that how you would prove that they have insurance or they have, you know, that they're doing what they're supposed to, because the person here in Riverton might be doing a great job and the person in Denver might be doing a really bad job. And I don't know if the reviews are regional or city-specific or anything like that, that we could monitor, you know, to make sure that's getting done correctly. And then my question for staff would be, and I did not have time to go through my rental agreement to see, but I think, if I remember correctly, since we lease an office space for the car rental agency, I think that comes along with the parking spots that we get, and so we're basically paying something for the parking spot. And if so, we need to come up with how that would be calculated, because we would want, if they want 2 spots, then we would need to charge them for the 2 spots, because that is over and above the 10% fee. So,
Well, and I think part of the discussion too, in terms of, I think you're right, Mr. Bailey, I can look up right now on Turo, and there's 3 vehicles that are available on Turo right now. And I don't know if they're available today. It sounds like we have dates. So there's one that says October 31st through November 3rd. That's a Tesla Model Y. And then a Cybertruck, October 31st through November 3rd. And then there's a Chevy Trax, which is September 22nd through the 25th. It looks like probably what happens with this is they have a planned trip out of town. They're using one vehicle, or maybe they're flying. And rather than just having their car be sitting in the parking lot, they're having people rent it. But I mean, you do have to go in person. You have to meet somebody to get the keys.
I don't think so.
Really?
You don't. And here's another, and I think to respond to Councilman Bailey, hey, I mean, if we implemented long-term parking fees up there, I think that's how you would curve that, not necessarily partnering with them, but making them pay fees for their parking space up there that they are using, and it doesn't reflect back on the city or the airport when there is a negative interaction or experience. I think that, I'm totally for getting a reliable full-time company up there. I think that's very needed for the airport. But I feel strongly this isn't the appropriate one.
Well, but my point is, it's already there. It's
That's-
already there. It's just, right now, as things stand, we're not getting anything from it. And
Charge parking fees.
if we, I'm sorry?
That's
Right.
charge parking fees for the vehicles that are up there.
Right.
Or the spaces that they're taking, if that's
See,
what
and
they want to do.
And this is where I have a little bit of a, so, number one, okay. Turo is actually trying to do the right thing and saying, we're doing business up here. We're trying to make it so that it's a legit thing that we can kind of advertise and that sort of thing. There's probably plenty of people, kind of like we have, this is probably the most popular lot in Riverton, for people to come and do childcare.
Yeah.
Yes, childcare or whatever, where it's like, you know, it's one parent's weekend, now it's the other parent's weekend, they swap the kids. So I mean, already I have no doubt that we have things like this going on, even separate and apart from Turo too. Hey, can I borrow your car for a while? Yeah, go meet me up at the airport. Whether they're getting paid or not, it just happens. And I appreciate that Turo is wanting to say, okay, we want to have this be something where people know that it's available as a service. I agree with you, there's a certain amount of it sounds like the city is supporting it in terms of if it's included on the website. But to me, it feels just more like saying, this is something that's available. If Uber, for example, if we had any Uber drivers, which I don't know if we do, I would fully expect that we would want to put on like the information for the airport. Hey, just so you're aware, Uber is something that is, you can get a ride from the Riverton Airport. So I guess to me, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of negative for this in terms of, I mean, it's a company that's been around since 2010. I think the complaints more reflect on the people that you're borrowing from. As I look here, one of the folks you borrow from is from 4.87 stars, the other one is 5. So I don't know. I'm not seeing a lot of downside to it.
Your Honor, thank you. Just a couple quick comments. I don't think we're endorsing them. You know, if you look at DIA's website, they list every vendor that they have. Some of them I would absolutely not visit. You know, the free market, I think, will take care of, if they're that bad, which I have no doubt that they probably may be, the free market will take care of that. They'll eventually, if they're not making any money. However, I would like to see maybe some concession provided for the parking spaces that they're gonna take. I would really like to look into that. If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander.
Well, and I think you're saying something like a specifically marked Turo space.
Right.
That it's like you're not just up there, because if you're using a space, we know how much space you're using.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a marked space, we know there's 2 spaces up there for Turo vehicles. That's the capacity.
Yeah.
Whereas otherwise, let's say this takes off, I mean, not that I'm saying it will, but let's say it did take off and all of a sudden we have 30 cars up there
Mm-hmm.
and we're getting 10% of the revenue, that's great, but
We
we also are losing our space.
Yeah.
Your Honor.
Butterfield?
To answer Councilman Bailey's question, the car rental agreement that's currently in place assesses a square foot lease fee for the terminal building, so where the counter is and where the business operates. The 10% concession fee covers the use of the parking lot.
Okay.
So the current lessee does not lease spaces, but we receive compensation for those spaces for the 10% concession fee.
Your Honor, if I could as well,
Yeah.
excuse me, the parking spaces, they are not, it was misprinted in the packet that are designated spaces. That was not the intent, and I went back to the agreement just to verify. All the hosts asked is that there's availability, that they can use spaces in accordance with reservations made on their operator's website. So for instance, that they can pull up out front and you'll see sometimes that Tesla truck is parked out front of the airport. That's for someone to come out and pick up. That's on the website. The intent is not to use the parking area either. It just puts a restriction here that somebody can't use a parking area for more than 2 weeks. So that's the maximum. That could be less than 2 in the agreement, if the council so desires. It asks just for the right to park guest vehicles in the public parking area of the airport upon completion of shared use. And then no vehicles can be stored for more than 2 weeks. So that can be changed 1 week if the council desires, if they'd like to change that. And then they ask the host to use the public roadways and pasture loading and unloading areas adjacent to the terminal in common with the use thereof in connection to the peer-to-peer vehicle sharing service. So it's just asking to use the space, not to add, no parking designation or anything like that.
Your Honor, I just have an additional question. So what happens when somebody misses their flight in Denver and the car's delivered to the front of the airport and they've missed their flight and now they're rescheduled and the car's sitting there taking up space where people can't easily flow through there?
Your Honor.
Mr. Tolman?
A couple of things there, because the question did come up about the keys. Do you have to physically drop the keys off? So I went onto the website and I looked at that. There's 3 ways to actually get access to your vehicle. You can drop the keys in a designated drop box or area. I don't know what that would look like. You can leave the keys in a spot on the car, something like that. Or if it's a newer car, and I noticed a lot of cars are like a 2022 or newer, or even 2020 or newer car, you can, some of these can be unlocked remotely. By satellite. You can just unlock it at the time that the person arrives at the vehicle. They can unlock it and then take it at that point. Then the agreement is between the person dropping off the vehicle and the person picking up. So if the person picking up wanted to change, and then they're charged a day use on that too. So if they want to make changes, that agreement comes between the person picking up and the person dropping off. So yes, there is a chance that a vehicle might be set there for a little bit. And then the teeth that the city has is they are able to go in and revoke any host. So if we have any bad hosts, just looking at the agreement, then the city can suspend the license of any host in there. So
I would note too that in 10, it says, "The city reserves the right to direct at its discretion operators and host operations in the event that operators and host operations are unreasonably interfering with the use of others, by others of the airport, including to restrict the use of roadways, curbs, and sidewalks in favor of the traveling public." So I think in the event that we have something blocking folks from using it, that's there for a period of time, we could say it could be towed.
And again, I think they'd be better off to put their cars in the parking area than they would be leave it right in the, the pickup lane right up front. Unless they're walking out going, "Hi, I'm Mike, I'm the guy renting you your car," and they hand the keys to the person, then that's different. But we wouldn't want a car parked there even for an hour to do that, so.
I just would like to reiterate, on September 21st, this one was a review that came through it, where it's not just host interactions, it said they have been hosting for TURO for several years, and what started as a promising partnership, in their words, has become incredibly frustrating, and over the last year, host support has fallen off the cliff with several issues. So once they get you signed up, once they get you where they want you, then there's absolutely no response from their company if you have issues. So it's a problem. If we can't reach out to them and fix issues, if we have somebody coming up and complaining about one thing or another, and we can't reach out to them, what does that say for our service at the airport that we're providing people, or people that are stranded show up and people don't have their cars there waiting for them, or the multitude of complaints that I see here that isn't just host related. This company doesn't appear to care once they get people signed up, and the hosts are getting paid, I believe it's $687 per vehicle that they sign up.
Any other discussion?
Your Honor, how do we audit?
That does have that specifically in there, that operators shall keep and maintain for a period of not less than 36 months, true and accurate records, accounts, books, data. Oh, I guess that's after the expiration or termination of this agreement, but we reserve the right, at the city's expense, to inspect all operators' financial records for the purpose of verifying gross revenues. City shall give operator 14 days written notice of said operation, inspection of records, et cetera, et cetera. If it's determined operator has understated the gross revenues by 3% or more, the entire expense of said audit shall be borne by the operator. So in other words, it would be at our expense, but if we turn out we're right, that they've been understating it by 3% or more, then they have to pay for the audit.
So in reality, we're really getting 7%.
We're getting what?
7%.
Suppose.
Just saying.
And again, I did not read through the agreement thoroughly, but do they have to notify us of the operators in the area that would be putting cars there? And is that something we could add to that, to where, like, they would have to notify Bruce or somebody with the city so that we had a list of the people,
And we would know.
so that we have a way to contact them that are operating out of the airport?
Well, I would, Your Honor, I would think that would be a security issue as well. We want to know what vehicles are there.
I do know, and I'm not sure about notifying us. I will say operator hereby covenants and agrees that they will evaluate the safety of vehicle used by host by checking VIN for safety recalls, determining whether the title is branded, which that was, I understood your concern there. That the vehicles used by host shall be maintained in good, safe, and operative order, free from mechanical defects, and in a clean, neat, and attractive condition inside and outside. By the way, this is on the operator, and if they don't do this, then that would be a breach of contract.
Well, with Turo, not with us.
Well, but that's my point, is that's TURO's obligation as the operator. The host performing peer-to-peer services shall not conduct business in a loud, noisy, boisterous, offensive, or objectionable manner. So I think in terms of what the operator is agreeing to, and then if they breach, then it'd be like, well, you can't do business here anymore.
We're saying Turo's gonna tell them they can't do business anymore.
We're saying TURO is agreeing that that's what they will do. They are agreeing to evaluate the safety of vehicles, make sure they're in good, safe, and operative order, free from mechanical defects, and in clean, neat, and attractive condition inside and outside. So whether they're doing that in a smart way, if we find out they are not doing that, that would be a breach. They
It would,
perf-
I'm sorry.
Well, they'd perform sharing services is not supposed to be in a loud, noisy, boisterous, offensive, or objectionable manner. Can't be in the way. I mean, there's a lot of things that they're agreeing to here. What were you saying, Councilwoman Johnson?
I apologize, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It's their operations that reflects, if we're allowing this or putting them on our websites as described in the agreement, we are in a way representing them, or they are representing the city of Riverton. And I would highly encourage you to go read some of the complaints, the recent complaints within the last week. And most of it has to do with a lack of customer service concern, unfair charges, people claiming that there was smoking in their vehicles when they didn't smoke, and so they were charged $200 deposit fees that was not returned. The company is just, and I went in and I read both the good and the bad. And some people have had good experiences, but most of it relates to charges and operational status of the vehicle breaking down and then being charged and not being reimbursed. Or, I mean, there's a multitude of complaints. But TURO has not responded to those complaints. In 3 years, they have resolved, in the 3 years of the complaints, they have only resolved 176 of 2,466 complaints. And that speaks volumes to me. So,
But how is that our responsibility?
It's not.
And that's,
I mean, if with that standard, the other car operator ought to be booked full. You know, it's, one, we get a revenue from them being present at the airport. Two, if we feel we're being shivved, we have to expend energy, and that's the same with the other. So, right off the bat, we can either approve them or we don't approve them, and they operate as DoorDash under our nose, and you get nothing.
right.
Your Honor, I feel like maybe a simple fix for this would be a disclaimer if it's on the website, on our website. So it says plainly, City of Riverton is not, you know, we're just putting
Not
this on the
endorsing them.
website. We're not endorsing, because as Councilman Carr said, it's a free enterprise deal, and the public's gonna determine if this works or not.
Well, I'm just thinking, we've put on the website and had signage and that kind of thing at the airport for Hertz for many years. And I don't think we were,
Overly impressed with their service either.
no, not overly impressed, but nevertheless, they were a lessee.
Yeah.
I worry about getting in the business of the business of getting in the business of people trying to do business up at the airport or other places that they're renting. I mean, the concern is, I hear the concern, but I also hear it's, for the most part, it's free enterprise. And that being said, too, despite that reality, the operator is agreeing. They're going to be making sure that the vehicles used by the host are maintained in good, safe, and operative order, free from mechanical defects, clean, neat, and attractive condition. I'm not saying we would do this, but in reality, if this turned into a bad deal because there were vehicles up there that were not clean, neat, and attractive, we could say, we don't want to do it anymore. But then what's the benefit to us? Because they still could do
Then they
business
could
there.
still do it and you couldn't do anything about it
So I don't
until we
know.
locked down the parking lot.
Or started charging for everybody at the parking
Right.
lot. You know, which I don't, I love the fact that we don't do that.
We should.
Well, and honestly, Your Honor, anyone who is looking to rent a vehicle really should do due diligence in finding out how this company runs. And that's out of the city's control. But I do think we need to try, we're responsible to try to claim some of the revenue rather than just have it be like DoorDash.
Yeah.
Well, and we do have a responsibility, not that I'm saying this is necessarily for the parking lot or not, but we do have a responsibility per the FFA, right? Not FFA, geez, FAA. The FFA is,
Easier to deal with, yeah.
they've been on our case. We need more cows.
We need to work with.
No, the FAA, I mean, to be doing things that make money at the airport to try to make it as profitable as possible in terms of not just, anyway. All right. Well, I think we've kind of beaten a dead horse a little bit. If there's anything to add.
Your Honor, I think Karen's concerns are valid, but I think we need to give this a try because we do need to get the revenue that they're getting, whether they pay us or not. And I think in our case, the person that's renting these cars up there, I think we all know who it is. He's the only Tesla guy in town, or pretty close to only Tesla guy in town. And I think overall, he's pretty upright and does what he's supposed to do. And I think if we start hearing complaints, then we can go back and do that.
And his reviews look pretty good.
Yeah.
as
He's got
opposed.
5 stars. I looked that up. All right. Any other discussion? Thank you, everyone. More discussion than we usually do with stuff like this, but that's good. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay.
Nay.
I vote aye. Motion passes. All right, Bureau of Justice Assistance Grant Submission, Body-Worn Camera Policy and Implementation Program. Police Chief's report again, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. The fiscal year 25 body-worn camera policy and implementation program is a funding opportunity administered by the Bureau of Justice Assistance within the U.S. Department of Justice Office of Justice Programs. It aims to support publicly funded law enforcement and correctional agencies in establishing, expanding, or enhancing body-worn camera programs. The program also funds demonstration projects focused on improving management, sharing, and integration of digital evidence from body-worn cameras, optimizing prosecutors' use of body-worn camera footage, and leveraging footage for officer training and constitutional policing practices. Overall, it seeks to reduce crime, lower recidivism, and promote a fair and safe criminal justice system through grants, training, and technical assistance. The program goals for this grant is for purchasing or leasing body-worn cameras, enhance prosecutors' capability to handle digital evidence from body-worn cameras, integration of body-worn camera footage with digital evidence sources, and body-worn cameras data to improve training, accountability, and policing practices. Eligible applicants include city, county, special districts, state governments, federally recognized Native American tribal governments, independent school districts, public and state-controlled institutions of higher education, and other law enforcement and correctional agencies. On the October 7th, 2025 council meeting, approved a bid acceptance for a 2025 police technology upgrade from Axon. A substantial portion of the technology upgrade of about $563,384.71 is for the purchase of body-worn camera technology, which the grant is intended to help agencies obtain. Per our policy, the city policy, the police department is seeking council approval to move forward with this application project. The grant requires 50% match from the requesting agency. If awarded, the city would receive $281,692.36 in revenue to support the bid award for Axon. The fiscal year 26 budget anticipated the receipt of roughly $784,344 in grant funds to offset the expenses of the technology upgrade. Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice Affairs grant for the body-worn camera policy and implementation program serves to meet some of the projected revenue to support expenses associated with this project. I want to thank Lieutenant Wharton has done a lot of work on this particular grant. He's also here tonight if there's any questions related to the grant. And staff's recommendation is to approve submission of a grant application to Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice Affairs for body-worn camera policy and implementation program in the amount of $281,692.36. With that, Your Honor, I'll stand for any questions.
Thank you. I'd entertain a motion to approve submission of a grant application to the Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice Affairs for the body-worn camera policy and implementation program in the amount of $281,692.36.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Larson, second by Councilwoman Johnson. Any discussion on this?
No discussion. I just want to thank Lieutenant Wharton for his hard work.
Yeah, it's been good. Now, I understand we've already received bids for it, so we have a final amount. Okay. Did we have competitive bids or only one bidder?
One bidder. You missed the meeting.
I missed that meeting. Okay.
Yeah, we discussed it actually in terms of, when you have a single bid, how we wanted to deal with that. And it was, well, not a single bid, but when you have one game in town that was going to do what we were looking for and had been in communication with them, we felt it was right to still put it out to bid and see what happened. And the same person we'd been talking with was the only bidder, which is fine. But any other discussion? Thank you, Lieutenant. Keep up the good work. Appreciate it. You got to catch up, Lieutenant Martson.
He's doing
We're gonna have an intra-departmental competition as to who can get the most grants.
Careful.
And the winner gets to match them all. Yeah.
The winner gets to match them all. Seriously, I really appreciated Lieutenant Wharton. He's been very forward-thinking with a lot of things in terms of technology, ways we can improve things, and appreciate you being there and putting in a lot of work towards all of these. So keep up the good work. All right, any other discussion? Not to say you're not doing great, Lieutenant Martson. You just haven't been here as long. I mean, Lieutenant Wharton is still, he hasn't even been here that long. All right, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. I vote aye, motion passes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Special use permit for buffer zone, Bureau of Reclamation. Mr. Tolman.
Thank you, Your Honor. Tonight in front of you is a renewal of a special use permit for the buffer zone around the Central Wyoming Regional Airport. The Bureau of Reclamation has, we've been in a 50-year lease with Bureau of Reclamation for areas around the airport. The new lease is for a 25-year lease for this area. It's approximately 1,000 acres of property, most of it just north of the airport and then around private property north of the airport. But there is a small portion directly west of the airport as well, most notably around the weather station and then around a small parcel of property that was pulled out on this permit that the Bureau of Reclamation will lease to YDOT. That's where a lot of the mill tailings ended up from the US 26 project north and west of town. So this permit renews the 50-year lease. The lease does expire. The current lease does expire on February 27th of next year, of 2026. This lease would renew the lease on a 25-year basis, and then I want to note that there is no actual fee required. Any fee on this permit has been waived, as with the last permit as well. So, and then again, this is just for undeveloped lands, Bureau of Reclamation lands that are of use to the airport as kind of that buffer zone. Just one item to note in the lease, as in the last lease, is that the city will be responsible for maintaining any noxious weeds in that area, which fortunately there's no irrigation there yet, so noxious weeds probably won't sprout up, but we'll keep an eye on that as well. So that's what you have in front of you, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to approve the renewal of the special use permit with the Bureau of Reclamation for property adjoining the Central Wyoming Regional Airport.
So moved.
Second.
Councilwoman Borders with the motion, Councilwoman Johnson with the second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. I vote aye. Motion passes. I wish we could say we're going home. We are not.
Today.
I'd entertain a motion to convene into executive session for the purpose of personnel, considering offers, tendering wages, salaries, benefits, or terms of employment during negotiations in accordance with Wyoming Statute 164405A10, or considering the appointment, employment, right to practice, dismissal, complaints, or charges against a public officer, professional person, or employee in accordance with Wyoming Statute 164405A2.
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Carr with the motion, Councilwoman Borders with the second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. I vote aye. Motion passes. We stand convened into executive session at 8:51 PM. I don't think we have anybody to invite in right now. So we'll just go ourselves. We're going to be unsupervised. Unless you want to be there, Mr. Sollers. Why don't, nope.
Do you want me there?
Well, we always want you there.
I think we should have him.
I would invite Mr. Sollers to attend the executive session.
Yeah.
Mayor, are you taking the notes for this?
If I have to.
Absolutely.
Can I get the finance committee members to sign this?
We already said one.
Can I sign the wrong line for a third
Mass
time?
needed a different.
Oh.
I'm not sure why.
That was me. That's on
There
me.
you go.
Did I tell you, Eric, this is my note from my son. He was here at the meeting,
You want your pen back?
he just came up here, was fiddling with my desk, he wrote, "I love you." Oh, I'm gonna leave it in there. I had my daughter that wrote that on my board when I was the city prosecutor. Wrote, "I love you, Dad."